as a request from one of you viewers, I don't recall who it was exactly, they wanted me, or they actually just suggested and said, hey Darren, you got to try Sonax Brilliant Shine Detailer. So I bought it like months ago. I was out on location. Hey, I need to do a review on this. But in addition to that, I recall, because I was having a conversation with Matt Burns. Hey Matt, he came over last night. He borrows my generator till he gets his own. Anyhow, so he talked about the meetup that Sonax was doing at detailing.com, and it was spread through the forum, for lack of a better word, on Facebook, Detailing for Money. Seems like a pretty good group of guys, pretty straightforward, honest. So far I like it. I engage as often as I can. Hi to you, Joey C. Love. I like your candid, honest approach. So thanks for the comments. And there's quite a few of you, but the reality is I've got about 20 balls in the air that I'm constantly juggling. And as it is, some of those balls drop and hit the ground, which is not a good thing. So I wish I could have been there last night, but I just don't have time. I truly have to pick and choose my battles. So before we get into the comparison, and it's not only a review of this product, but it's also a comparison because, and it's not a true apples and apples comparison, because this is what's called a quick detailer. This is a spray wax. So this should, in certain ways, perform better than this. But really, when it comes to these types of waxes or detailers, it's all about visual presentation. So therefore, based on that, I make a comparison. It's not a true apples for apples. What it really, to me, is kind of like a variety of apples. They're both apples because we're after the same goal, which is visual presentation. Because any wax in this is really what I would call superficial. It's not going to be about durability or longevity. It's really just about getting you to the next wax application of either a sealant or a paste wax. So it's more about visual performance. That's the cake. The icing on the cake is that it actually has wax in it as a protectant, call it what you want. This does not. This is all about visual performance, a quick detailer. So I do follow, believe it or not, I do take your suggestions. I test them in the real world. But before we get into that, because I actually was able to get a couple videos out of a couple cars I did today, which is a cool thing because I got to go at the moment. And I don't have the ability to just cherry pick the topics that you guys want me to cover because I'm so busy with my own world. So with that said, I want to say hi to a few people out there, and thanks for tuning in, whether it's Scott Bly, sorry if I get that wrong, Scott Blay, Chris Gonzalez, Pinnacle Detailing. I know you and I have to have a conversation so I can address your specific topics that you wanted me to address in a video. Sean Cody, I know you've got issues with your father and his health. I hope he's doing better. I'm doing what I can to help you out, but my heart goes out to you. I know you're under difficult circumstances right now. To Dennis in Seattle, he calls me his sponsor. Reaches out when he's kind of in desperation mode. It's like, hey Darren, I'm kind of going in panic mode here. I don't know what to do, so I'm happy to help, and thanks for tuning in. Derek in Hawaii, I hope you're doing well. I hope the products and suggestions are helping you out in growing and developing your newly formed business. Shoot, I'm just going to go down the list because I've got this list that's going on here. Garrett in South Arkansas, Josh Cohn or Kane from Baltimore, Maryland, Quentin King from North Carolina, Christopher Prash from Vancouver, Washington, Jacob Staszynski from Poland. Check that out, from Poland. Buddy, of course, from Mississippi, and Steve Vandervorst from Belgium. There's another foreign country for you. Mike, which is really Alpha Charlie 65. Covert, I guess he's going covert status on us. Anyhow, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you're learning something. Don't forget to help me out. Give it a thumbs up on the bottom of this video. Even if you don't like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. I'm okay with that. Any comment, please. I like your comments. I wish I could respond to all of them. I just don't have enough time. But I read the comments. I read as many as I can. But the reason that helps me is because the more comments you guys make, even if it's a simple 2-word comment, good, bad, and different, I get higher rankings with YouTube. Why is that important? Because if you are finding these videos helpful, then you can help other guys out, because it will make my videos more relevant and more people will see it, and therefore it will help them because you're being helped. And I'm trying to help as many guys as I can. That's the bottom line of it, because I know literally the more people I can help, the universe will respond in like. So whatever I put out there is going to come back to me. So it's such a win-win for everyone. So that's how you can help win for your world and those around you, because it really is a win across the board. So let's get started, let's get rolling, and hope you learned something in this couple of videos. There's going to be a couple parts to it. I'll link them together. So check this out. I've got my Sonax, I don't even know how to pronounce that word, but it's their Brilliant Shine Detailer, and I'm working on this Maserati. I'm in the direct sunlight. It's about 90 degrees outside, and the humidity is about 47%, and it sucks. This is hot paint. My guess is, without pulling out my heat gun, this is probably about 160 degrees. And let me, as an added note, thank you for clarifying, because this is a Maserati Ghibli. It is more of a entry level versus the higher end one. So thanks for all you that clarified for me. So someone made a comment, said, hey Darren, you ought to try the Sonax Brilliant Shine Detailer. So I purchased some. I've been using it in a shaded, controlled environment. Thumbs up. But in my world, where I have to contend with the elements like direct sun, hot paint, so forth, thumbs down. And this is why I keep going back to my products that I continue to use, like Meguiar synthetic Xpress wax. I can use that in the direct sun on the hottest of hot paints, and it's a non-issue. If I use this and I allow it to dry it all, and that's where you can tweak it, meaning it says, the directions clearly say do not use it on hot paint. Can I still make it work? Yes. What I have to do is I have to work very quickly so that it does not dry on the paint, because once this dries on the paint, all the little overspray, it becomes miserable. And no, I'm not resting my elbow enough to dimple this hood. So don't worry and don't go into freak out mode. I'm very conscientious of what I'm doing. So if the overspray is allowed to dry, it is miserable to get off. So if you're a Sonax fan, go for it. It's a good product. But for me, in the real world of working in the environment, exposed to the elements, it's not going to work for me. So there we have it. You can look at this hood. Looks great. I was able to use it in the direct sunlight. I just had to work quickly. There's nothing wrong with that, but I prefer options. I prefer some flexibility. I don't want to have to micromanage every little droplet of overspray. So that's why I prefer, still to this day, the Meguiar's synthetic Xpress wax. But do I like this under controlled conditions? Yes, I do. And likely what I'm going to do is I'm going to poach this bottle and use it for one of my other chemicals that I prefer, because it's got a really cool bottle. Now, that's kind of silly, right? Well, not in my world, because I like presentation of things. Is that a form of misrepresentation? Maybe. But I promise you, and this is where I'm going to pull you back into the real world of detailing, customers really do not care. You know what customers care about? Is results. In fact, the world cares about results. You will get paid for delivering the results. As a rule, most people do not care how you get there, so long as you can produce the results. So with this, my customer doesn't care what's in there. They may ask, like, oh, gee, Darren, what kind of products do you use? Oh, well, here's some Sonax. You ever heard of it? No? They don't care. And if I had it billed with another product, I would say, well, it looks like it's a product called Sonax. Actually, what I do is I just use the sprayer because it's a quality sprayer and it's ergonomically friendly. But what's really in it is Meguiar's synthetic Xpress wax. And they're like, oh, wow, I've never heard of that. It's like, well, there's a reason you've never heard of it, because you can't buy it on the retail shelves. So that's my little added sidebar to that.